Well, good morning everybody and welcome to another 1.18 build. This build looks a lot like my 1.17 Super Smelter, but with a few differences. Now before, I had two minecarts running, and they would run down and back, but sometimes I would get uneven distribution and it would cost me a whole furnace cycle to get all my items. So that was not ideal. So what I decided to do, take out the two hopper minecarts and just put one with a turnaround at the end. It does take a little bit longer to fill everything up, but it's only by a second or two. So let's see how it works. You drop an entire stack of sand in here. It will shoot off as it goes down, distributing sand to all the hoppers along the way. And there you go. They've all been distributed. And now they're all cooking. You can hear it clicking away below. And there's our glass. As you can tell, it's pretty quick. There's your whole stack right there. Now the minecart's on this side and it's ready to receive another full load and then head down. So let's take a look at this from a distance. So here you go. There's the whole Super Smelter. This is the fueling module back here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is only 8 blocks tall by 40 blocks long by 10 blocks wide. If we get in here close, we can see all the furnaces are just a long line, 32 in a row, 32 on the other side, with these hoppers feeding into droppers. Now back here is how we fuel the whole system. And it is with a simple bamboo farm with a flying machine that just goes along and chops it all off. Now, I'm not exactly sure why these glow squid keep spawning here, because it's definitely not pitch black. So I don't know if that's just a glitch in the game, but yeah, they're everywhere. All right, you can see this bamboo farm is 20 blocks tall by 23 blocks wide. And then if we go to the back side, it is 32 blocks long. Now you could build it up like this and have a giant square block, or you could dig it into the ground and have this top layer where the glass is would be at the ground level. So this would be all underground. Then you would have to build a underground chamber for your super smelter. Every time this farm goes, it will produce a full double chest of bamboo. The reason why I like to use bamboo over the other items, because it takes 4 pieces of bamboo to smelt one item in a furnace. Now, if I used coal in this thing and filled it full of coal, 1 piece of coal will smelt 8 items. So we would have to smelt 8 stacks at one time to use up all the coal. And because if you used 1 stack and you used a coal based, then you would use 64 pieces of coal to smelt 1 stack of items, which is totally inefficient. But if you use bamboo, it would only take 4 stacks of bamboo to smelt that 1 stack. So that makes it more efficient. I mean, you could use kelp, but then you'd have to build another smelter to smelt the kelp, to turn it into the dried kelp, and then craft it into the kelp blocks, which is just a pain when you can have this auto bamboo farm just ready to go. And how I make it an auto is I have this backup chest. So all the hoppers to the furnaces are full of bamboo right now. So every time I smelt something, it uses 4 stacks. So it takes 4 stacks pretty much out of this chest. When this chest, I have a comparator looking at the output of this chest. So it's right now, since this chest is full, it is giving an output signal of 15, which is going into this target block, which is turning off this torch. So this chest here is full of some wooden shovels. And this chest is putting an output of 4. When this output is less than 4, then this comparator will shut it off, causing this torch to come on, which will power this right here, which sends it off. If you have squid spawning in your water streams, like I do here, even though it defies their spawning conditions, because it is not in pitch black, I have tried replacing all this stone with glowstone to see if that worked. Put wood in there. they always just continue to spawn. But if you have that problem, I would suggest putting an item filter here on this hopper chain to pull off those glow ink sacks. And then you also have a glow ink sack farm. That is how the farm works. So let's get down to building it. I will have a world download in the description below. I'm going to have the Litmatica files for the Super Smelter and then for the bamboo farm separately. I'm going to treat these almost like two different builds. You could put this wherever you like in your world. You just got to put a hopper chain to it. Just remember, when you put a hopper chain, if you put these droppers on top or composters on top, that will help reduce lag. So I have them all down here to reduce lag. So let's get started. All right, this is how we're going to start it out. Remember, it is going to be 8 blocks high, but we want to start with our furnaces. So those are going to be 5 blocks high. So we're going to put 32 furnaces in a row this way, and then on the back side, we want to put 32 furnaces going the other way. And there you go. Let's get rid of these blocks because they were just there for measurement. We have our 64 furnaces in a row. So after you put down your stack of furnaces, you have to put a stack of hoppers on top of these furnaces. This whole build takes a lot of hoppers. It takes a little over 4 stacks of hoppers. So that's not even including the bamboo farm. So I would say 5 stacks altogether would be a good number to start with, depending on how far away you make your bamboo farm from your super smelter. And there you go. There is all your item input hoppers. So now you're going to have to put hoppers going into the sides of all these. These will be the fueling hoppers. Okay, once you have all your hoppers going in, you're going to add another layer of hoppers just going straight into these hoppers. Hey guys, look what I did here. When I put all these hoppers, I put them all going straight down. That is not what's supposed to be going on. All right, the first one goes straight down, and then the rest goes into that one. All right, guys, now that they're all facing the correct way, we can go back to the tutorial. When you get to the end here, these hoppers, you're going to have a couple hoppers coming out the back, and then they're going to go around. Whoops, I can go like this. And then this is going to go up to our input chest, our overflow chest. While we're here, we can just fill in these blocks right here. We're going to make this a little lag friendly, so you can use I like droppers just because. Once you have your droppers all filled out, you're going to want to fill this in with your building blocks, whatever you choose, and make this little structure right here. And we're going to need our powered rails, our non-powered rails, and a detector rail. Now you can put your detector rail here and your non-powered rail there. That's a temporary one because we need to make it go up like this. You have to extend it out a little bit. There you go. You can put any rail up there and you're going to break those, because on top of here is where our platform is going to be. And once you get to the end, you're going to put down your regular rail and then just head on back. And there you go. Okay, so once you have your rails in, you're going to have to extend your building blocks out. I just made my little rectangle here for where my water bubble vader will come up. And you can see it's 1 out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it's going to jump up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a block and go this way. So how this is going to work is you're going to put a sticky piston here and a fence post on top. Do the same to the other side. Sticky piston and a fence post. Now we want to take a reading from the chest that will be sitting here. So we take a comparator looking out, and that will power when there's something in there, and we will put in our repeaters, 3 of them at 4 ticks. Then we place our 2 redstone on top, so it's jumping up, and then we're going to go back this way with 3 more at 4 ticks. And this block is in the wrong spot. See, everybody makes mistakes. And there you go. So we will fix this one. Also, we can put our redstone torch there, and that will push out the fence right there, which will hold the hopper minecart. So we get our comparator coming out, going into redstone dust, going into a repeater at 4 ticks, another repeater 4 ticks, another repeater 4 ticks, redstone dust up, and a repeater at 4 ticks. Yes, I'm using the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack for the thick redstone, which actually shows you the power level on it. It's really helpful. So we can place our 1 hopper minecart there, and then we have to put our double chest above it. So this hopper minecart is in the bottom of this chest, so whenever we put anything into it, it will suck straight into the hopper minecart, and this comparator is actually reading the hopper minecart, and that's whenever it will get a power out with a delay to release this, and in that time it will suck out 64 items out of the chest and put it in the hopper minecart, and it'll go on its way. You can see our powered rails are not powered right now, so we're going to have to power them. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks out and put down a redstone block. And we come to this side too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And there you go. Now all of them are powered. Now you can always leave this whole entire back section from the pistons in the wall. You could leave it just like this, and there would be nothing wrong. It'll work just fine. Now I like to make it look pretty, and I'll put glass along here. Oh, here comes the wandering trader. Let me go take care of that guy. And if I just continue this all the way down to make it look good. And there you go. Now you can make it look all nice and pretty. And where our input hoppers were, we just add the chest here and make this beautiful. Beautiful. I tell you, beautiful. And there you go. There's your input chest or overflow chest, whatever you want to look at it, however you want to look at it. I do like to come down here and grab bamboo to make scaffolding out of my furnace, so it doubles. We're just going to have to continue our little path all the way down. We've continued our water elevator, and this is where our soul sand is going to go, and our packed ice. We'll put our pressure plates here to stop the water. In here, you're just going to add your water. Now, in survival, you're going to have to either use ice or kelp to make an infinite water source so that everything floats up. Now, underneath here, we're going to need our hoppers. Now, our first furnace, we're going to want to just have the hoppers coming straight down. Now, on these 2 hoppers pointing down, we want to count out 7. As you can see here, we have our 7. Then we're going to go straight down again, and then 7 again. And there you go. Now, when you're placing them, make sure you don't accidentally do one of these where it's pointing straight down, or else it will break everything. So we have 7, 1 pointing down, 7 pointing down, 7 pointing down. Now you're going to need your dropper. On every single one that was pointing straight down, you need the dropper facing down. Once you have all your droppers facing down, then you can finish putting your ice in. If you would have put your ice in first, it would have been very difficult to put the hoppers facing down. This will be 56 blocks altogether, but you can just count all the way out till you get to the last dropper. Here we're just going to extend this out to contain the water. All right, coming out of each of these droppers, you're going to want to make a dropper clock. So it's going to come out 2 more blocks from our regular wall. Then we're going to take our... All right, we're going to make a dropper clock. So we have our little pad right here. Out of the dropper, we have a comparator looking out. Say redstone dust there. And it's going to power this block, which then will power this piece of redstone dust, which we need that to power this, and a repeater to repower this. So it'll glow in a clockwork fashion. Now we need to power this dropper back again. So we're going to put a block on top there, and we're going to put a piece of redstone dust up there. But now this is not powering this block anymore because it's going this way. So we need to cut that off by just placing a block on top of it, which then will cut it off. Which means when this powers, it powers this block, which powers this redstone, which then will power this, which will shoot the thing out. And then the other redstone dust will power this to this repeater and go into there to shut it off and shut it back on. So when you put that in there, boop, it shoots it out. So now we just have to build this a few more times. All right, now that all the dropper clocks have been added, we just add a few stone pressure plates here. And then we can add our water. Make a nice flow here. And you just add the water underneath where the dropper shoots out. So that'll help contain the items from flying around. So you guys thought I forgot these blocks here. I didn't. I was just testing you. But yeah, don't forget to put the blocks up here or else they will not power the dropper. Now we need to get our fuel input. So we can just put a hopper chain out. Don't forget to cover it with some droppers. Now I would make this bamboo farm as close as you can to your super smelter so that you have the least amount of hoppers coming out, because of course this is very hopper expensive, and this part costs a lot of hoppers too. So we're going to count from here 15 hoppers out. Once you have your 15 going out in each direction, you're going to want to make a platform. So you're going to count out 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side. Once you get your 7 on each side, you're going to want to count out 19. All right, once you have your thing filled out, you're going to want to build a wall around it. So now from this back wall, you're going to count out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to put in our redstone blocks all along here. There you go. Now we're going to take our powered rails and we're going to lay them down. Now down here, you're going to have 2 spots where you're going to, if you put down another powered rail, it would not be powered. So we're going to put in a regular rail and a regular rail. Normally and then a powered rail at the end here. Now, laying down the rails can get a little tricky. You're going to want to place down all these rails. Now, at the end, if you just put down this next rail right here, it's going to connect and go sideways. And we don't want that. So what you have to do is you go back 1, place down your non-powered rail, place down your regular rail, and then you can just continue going along this way. Now again, this is not a cheap build in the least bit, but it sure is. Whoops, we gotta put that there. There we go. But once you have it, you'll love it. All right, now that you have all your rails down, you want to put down your hopper minecarts. Now these are all going to bounce around when you first put them on, but that's okay. You'll probably have to just power them real quick. Get yourself a lever button or something. Put down a line of redstone right there, and that will recenter them all. Boop. The next part is pretty simple. You're just going to place down your grass over all the rails, and you can just walk on top and just click right on the rail, and it'll place the grass down. Once you have all your grass planted and all your grass down, you're going to plant all your bamboo. It's going to take quite a bit of bamboo to start it out. Alright, now that all of our bamboo has been placed, we have to move on to our catchment system. So right here, well, we're going to fill in this back part. Whoops. And then from here, we're going to count out 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to fill all this in. Now that it's all filled in, this is our water catchment system. So we're just going to fill this in with water. Whoops. And it flows right to the edge. We just need to drop this down one. Now we have our little trough. We need to make the back wall for it. And let's fill all this in. Now that we have our trough, we're going to count out 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we do 6 just for symmetry. After we put down our ice, we want to put down our signs directly on top of them. And then, now that our signs are in place, we can put down our water there, there, and there. Nice and symmetrical. And the ice helps the items flow across into the hoppers. We just have to mirror this now on the other side. Alright, now that you have all of your water trays in, you're going to come up 4 blocks on each side. And that's 3 and 4. Now, of course, if you're digging this out, you don't have to dig or build a wall. It'll be just your dugout wall. Once your walls are all up, your catchment system, you're going to go to the right side. And we're going to count out 11 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go down 3 blocks to there. So it's 11 and then down 3 and put a obsidian block there. Once you put your obsidian there, you're going to put 2 of your building blocks here, and you're going to want to place a repeater going this way with a iron trapdoor there. This repeater has to be set to 4 ticks. This is going to go this way from our chest to signal it to go off. Now we go to the other side. From the front, we're going to want to count out 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 there. And 3 down. And place our obsidian. Here we're going to want to put our 2 blocks again. But on this side is different. We're going to want to place out 2 temporary blocks. And put an observer looking at that block. Now we want to take the output signal out of there and up and around. And we put our repeater with our 4 ticks with our trapdoor. Doesn't have to be iron, but I like iron. And there you go. That is our return system. Alright, onto the flying machine. Now on our obsidian block, we're going to put a sticky piston facing out with slimes going all the way out to the end. Now we don't want the last to be a slime block because it will catch the wall. So we put a solid, like a piece of glass, or you can put a solid block, whatever you like. We're just going to swing around and we're going to put a sticky piston facing in with another arm of slime. With another arm of slime sticking out. Now before we do this, we want to punch out this hole, because that's where our observer is going to look. But we still put our piece of glass there. Now it's all it takes is adding our observers. One looking up there. This next one might take a little bit. We put 2 pieces of slime there. Slime's good because it's easy to break. looking up, and we break that. And there you go. Your flying machine is all done. Super simple. Let's get ourselves a button. Let's grab ourselves a button real quick. And to test it out, we're just going to push our button right here, which will make that flap. And there it goes. And it makes a giant mess. It will hit this, and it will send it straight back. Shooting bamboo everywhere. We want to make our minecarts take off and go pick up all this good loot. So here we're going to add an observer looking straight out there, and then we just make a nice little staircase down to here. We have to come out this way because if we go this way, that's where the water stream is. So put ourselves a repeater on 4 ticks with some redstone. And boop. All right, we've moved our button back a little bit, so now we can see when this takes off. It should send. You can hear the hopper minecarts rolling, and you should be able to see them all flowing in to here. And there you go. The farm is essentially done. Now, as you can see, you have pieces of bamboo fallen everywhere. So we want to just build this all the way up. And there you go. I filled it all in. But remember, if you are digging a hole, you will already have the walls. So whenever you look at the stone count, it would be a lot less. All you would need to do is put glass over top of it. If you wanted to build it completely underground, then you would have to place light sources. But if you put a light source way up here, it still will not grow down there. So building underground can be done. You just have to remove a whole row and put light in there. I have done one underground and it was a pain. I had to use so many sea lanterns to light up the whole place. All right, now that you have your walls built up and everything's going to contain it, you have to hook it up to your super smelter so that it will replenish. So what we need to do that is a comparator looking at the contents of the chest. And right now it is putting out an output of 0 because the chest is empty. How much you bet? Yes, it's empty. Let's fill the chest up. Fill the chest up with a little bit. And you see we get a power level of 11. We want to put a comparator to go in the side here. And let's add ourselves another chest. A chest. I don't have a chest. Let's get ourselves a chest and fill it with, we can put non-stackable items. You can fill it with dirt, anything. So we're going to have to get a target block because a target block will redirect your redstone line into it. Because old school, you could put a block and it would redirect into it. But it doesn't anymore, so you need a target block. Then you need a redstone torch coming out the side here. Since this is strong power, it's going to go into there and it's going to turn off the redstone torch. Now we're going to make a path that leads all the way up to here. Okay, so I took away our comparator just so I can see our reading. See, this is why the Vanilla Tweaks redstone resource pack is so good, because you can just count it out, go up here, add your repeater, and then boom. You can see that sends off our flying machine, although we've already sent it flying. Now we can come down here, replace our comparator, which turns off our signal, and there you go. This chest you can set by however much you want it. Do you want it to send it off whenever it's half full? Then you fill this thing up halfway. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This happened to be a double tutorial. First you get a super smelter and then you get a bamboo farm. But then again, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click that like button, and if you really liked it, consider subscribing, because it really helps out the channel and helps me out, and I really like to see the subscribers.